Good afternoon, all. How is everybody doing? Except for, of course, I come back and I mess it up. You knew I would. You knew I would. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hey, Heather, how are you?
I almost forgot your name because it's been so long. But good news.
Long,
good news. I do remember who you are after all this time.
Fantastic.
It's so good to see you, David. I'm so glad that we could hang out today.
It's Michael.
Oh, wrong show.
Love it. Love it.
Everybody who's tuning in for the very first time, this is normal, I promise. Welcome, everybody. We're glad you made it. So glad to be back in the saddle doing Tinkering with Tech. My life is starting to calm down, and then yours goes haywire. So.
I know, it's crazy. Never fails, does it? Never fails.
It's pretty much normal. Yeah.
This is a fun one, though. This was a fun reason.
I'm excited.
I know. Can't wait to talk about today. Hey, if you want to know who we are, go to tinkeringwithtech.net. You'll see our website and check us out. See what we're all about. So anyway, if you're brand new to the show, most of you, it looks like most of the people out there right now that are commenting,
we have amazing, loyal viewers, and they're so loyal that they have little stars next to their name. Like, check this out. They have these little symbols next to their name that say they are a member of the YouTube channel, which is
𝘁𝗵𝗿
means they're VIPs. We appreciate you all, especially you who have the symbol next to your name. So
absolutely, lots of people joined us, huh?
Yes, and I'll bring up all of their names or their comments if you want. Or do you want to ask your question first? Because I
just think that you're right. I did a bunch of traveling, right? When did a bunch of traveling?
No, not that one. Not that question. The question you usually ask, which is, where are you?
Where are you from? Country, city, state. There we go. Yes. There you go. Oh,
we also have Donna out there.
Hey, Jolyn. And hey, Donna. Hey, Richard.
And Diane Bush has
made
it.
Hey, Diane. Nice to see you. We got Mike
in Canada.
Good to see
you, sir. Why is the cat below the window? Probably got to move your window, Richard. Hey, Mark has joined us from Huntington Beach.
How are you, sir?
And Diane's in Ohio.
Okay.
Hi. I've been to a few football games.
She is in the whole state. She's in the whole state of Ohio. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Where are you from? We should have done this while you were traveling, so you could have told us where you were traveling. But we'll talk about that, I suppose.
Of course.
Listen, it has been a little bit since we've been together, and it's because you've been traveling. And I have a really big question for you.
Okay. Fire away.
Did you use any tech while you were traveling? And if so,
nope, not at all.
Tell us all about it. Not at all? Is that what you just said? Well, that's the show for today, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Thanks. Appreciate y'all coming. I did, actually. It was kind of crazy. And it's interesting because a lot of our stuff. Okay, so those that don't know, I'm a product expert for Google, and they sent us out for a really cool trip to New York City. I didn't use a whole lot of I didn't have to use a whole lot of tech. Maybe a little bit beforehand, but I used a lot afterward.
Okay.
And we can explain further why and all that. So yeah, so technology, it's really quite cool, the stuff that's out there. Just with plane flights and even Uber for rides and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Okay, so there's like all kinds of apps out there that make life easy just on the regular day-to-day stuff, and we're talking about apps that you would download onto your phone or other mobile device like an iPad or something, and you could use these for all kinds of things when you're traveling. I know we all know about Google Maps, like everybody uses Google Maps, right?
Right, exactly.
Right? Yeah, so there's that, but then I wanted to know, like, you went on multiple airplanes, so
yeah, not at a choice, but yes.
Yes. And so, well, I mean, direct flights are nice, but they're usually very expensive as well, right? So we all know multiple planes, especially if they cancel any of them. But anyway, it's dying.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit on that, but I got the gist of what
Fine.
you're talking about. That's
Fine.
all right. Yeah, I know the internet is going crazy, but for you, right where you are. So yeah, basically what you're saying is that I had to use some different apps because of different flights and because of cancellations, etc. And there's tons of that going on right now. So let's talk about that. Flight status. There's an app for that. Yeah, let's go right into that. I think that would be a really cool thing to talk about, because it actually happened to me and some things that I had to do. So I'm going to go right to, you can put me full screen if you want. That's fine. I'm going to show you my phone. This is my phone, and there's a couple apps, and I was on United originally, and then I had to switch over to Delta. So I had to have both those apps. I had flown United before, so I had the app, had to download the Delta app. So, and you can ask questions as you need to, or feel need to, any way you want there, Heather, or input. But so what I did is,
as long as my internet allows me to, I certainly will.
I understand. So I hit the United app. It's up here at the top, and I hit that United app. And what's really cool here is you can search a flight. So this is even for somebody that you're waiting on. You go up into the menu bar, which is in the top left.
Michael, do you have to have a United Airlines account with them? Like, do you have to do that whole air miles thing and all that stuff? No? Okay.
No, you don't. So for example, if I back all the way, let me back all the way out. So if I go all the way here, I think I can go back further. Let me see if I can. Okay, so if I go to United, yes, it brings me in here. I don't want to sign in. I can continue as a guest. This is the nice thing, is you can continue as a guest. You don't have to have an account, which is cool. If you want to get more information and stuff like that, then you would. But I hit the menu up at the top left, the 3 bars. I hit that, and then just check flight status. And we just made up when I forget what it was, 1748, I think. It doesn't matter. We're just trying to get flights. See, and it tells you right there. What's interesting is right on the app now, is it gives you, like here, Houston construction advisory. I mean,
wow,
that's cool.
That's like construction that's going on in Houston. That's what that's talking about.
It may even be with the airport. I don't know. Who knows?
Insane.
It's crazy. It is insane. So it's interesting that on these kind of things, it tells you, like when your flight is scheduled, and when it's supposed to get to Jacksonville on this particular one, what gate you need to be, what plane you're flying on. This is really cool. They go into a lot of details and stuff and give you a lot of cool stuff.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, it was neat. So then when I went into, I actually had to go to Delta, so I had to download their app, and then the same thing, the menu, and then check flight status. And you can do this with anybody. I mean, you can do this with a friend that you're waiting on or picking up at the airport and stuff. So these apps give you all these tools and things to do this cool stuff, like this one right here.
So neat.
Yeah, coming from Detroit to Fort Myers, and you can see the times, etc., and all that. This one actually, the flight was complete. Let you know when it landed, whether there was a delay or whether it was on time. It was really kind of cool. It gives you lots of information about that. So it's really quite cool. I thought it's very convenient to have that because everybody has their phone, so it's like we're so attached to our phones right now that we can pull up these apps. I did the same thing when I stayed with my friends. Originally, I was going to take an Uber because, what you got? What'd you do?
Emergency alert coming off on my phone. Speaking of phones, I got severe dust storm warnings. That could be what's happening with my internet. So if I disappear, don't worry. I'll see you in Oz.
Welcome to Arizona. Yeah, Oz. I love it. That's fantastic.
Okay, Mark has a question.
Yeah, fire away, Mark. What type of cashless apps do you recommend for paying for goods and services while traveling? That's a great question. Now, I can only speak to one because it's all I used, but I would say Google Pay was amazing to use that. I was really surprised, like our hotel, for example. It was a nice, fancy hotel. They did not take Google Pay. But almost every other place that I went to, I could just, tap my phone and do that kind of stuff. It was really cool. They did do, like, you could take your card and do the tapless with your card, but they did not take like Google Pay or Apple Pay. A couple places did not know that they had Google Pay. You're welcome, Mark. They did not know they had it. They said, "Oh, we have Apple Pay," and I said, "Oh, well, then you got Google Pay. Go ahead and do it and run it." And sure enough, it worked. As long as it has that little symbol, almost both of them work. They just never know that because nobody ever said Google Pay before. So.
That's funny. So Richard says he had to do all that on Monday because his daughter went to Chicago. He could actually see the plane go to Chicago on a line from Los Angeles to Chicago, which is really cool.
You can watch the path of the flight. Yep.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Yeah. Really cool. Yep. So excellent.
So those are a couple of ways you use technology while traveling. What I'm curious about is before you even get to the travel part, how did you use technology to get like your plane tickets? Like just to even be able to do that? Yeah.
So I was all worried when my flight got canceled. I said, oh my gosh, I need to find a flight today.
Right.
And
I need to go home
somewhere. From some place. I mean, I didn't care which airport it was because in New York, thank goodness there was 3. So I could choose from 3 airports. So what I did was, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. So what you have here is I just typed into Google. This is so awesome to have this ability to do, and Google makes it so easy. I just said New York City to Greenville, South Carolina. And then I went to see where it says flights right near the top there. I just go to flights. And what was awesome, after missing a flight, I didn't want any stops. So I could go in here and choose nonstop, which was extremely important to me. So I immediately changed that and added that. This is me fighting to get my own, even though I did have people on the back end with Google trying to help me as well. And they did help me and it all worked out. But I wanted to check all this myself. So I said, if I have to come out of pocket, I'm going to come out of pocket because I want to get home. So what's cool about this is there's a lot of things on this that is really interesting. So, for example, I didn't need a round trip. What I needed was a one-way, and I needed it for, if I hit the calendar here, I needed it. Let's say, for example, today, I need it today. I'm flying out. I need to get out of here. I want nonstop. And I'm selecting these just as if I was really doing this. And there we go. That would have cost me $1,400.
Okay. There's an option.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me while I choke on the air around me right now. Sorry about that.
I get it.
Okay, so if you wanted to maybe track this flight and hopefully get one a little bit less, is there a way to do
really
that?
Cool. Really cool here. And I'm going to zoom in. You can kind of see right here is this track prices area. It's really super cool that you can do that. And then you can hover over the little eye. I didn't know about this little eye, but you taught me that actually. And you can get email updates when the prices change and all that kind of stuff. And all you would do is toggle that date and go, and it would send you that information. Really cool. Really awesome. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool service that Google provides. I mean, it's just there.
You know what I love about this is it lists all of the flights available for the days you're looking, which is the information you want. When you're going to look for flights, you're not looking for show me only the ones that Delta will provide.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Show me only the ones in this airport.
Right. Exactly.
That's the way it used to be, right? We used to go to those particular websites and look for those particular flights. And now you have the options to see which is the cheapest or most accommodatable. That's the word I just made up, by the way.
Accommodatable is pretty cool. I like that. Yeah. Talk about convenience though. And like I said, I was just ready to get home too. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, I need to get home. So
we were ready to have you home. So I speak on behalf of all the community members. It's good to have you back, Michael.
Now I know this is a short show and we're only talking about a couple things here, but I am curious to hear, even if you're watching this in replay, put in the comments down below some of the things you use or some of the things you do. I know we have some more comments. We'll get to those in a second. The other thing that I think is a really big deal when you're out and don't have a vehicle when you fly somewhere is something like Uber or Lyft.
I was just going to ask you about about those apps because I personally have never used them. So I'd really like to understand. Yeah, never used Uber for a ride or Lyft or any of those types. So I'm really curious. Had you used them before?
Yes. Okay. So
Yeah.
I had used Uber before in California when I was out there.
Okay.
One of the first times when I went with Google. So I did use that. But our friend who I stayed with a little longer after I had our event that we went to, I stayed with a couple friends that I had known from a long time ago. I hadn't seen them in forever. So they actually said, here, I'll look at both apps. And she was comparing prices to, on both. Okay, well, right now it's this price. And then she'd say, okay, well, check the price on this day or check the price this day. And I know it was crazy cool. So yeah, so you can use those two to your advantage. I had been to New York City before. I just want to throw this out there about New York City. I had been to New York City before, and I noticed this time not near as many yellow cabs. And I believe that's Uber and Lyft that have just kind of ruined it for them. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, not near as many. I thought that was an interesting thing. So,
that's an interesting point of fact. So you did mention that you were in New York City. Did you mention why you were there?
I think so.
Okay. So the product expert summit that Google did put on. And so that's where you were, but we're actually not going to talk about that. And there's a reason, right? We've got a plan.
Yeah, we do have a plan. We're going to try and have a couple of those guests that went with me, and we're going to talk about the product expert program and try to get people interested. And you might, if you're a helper and you help people, this is kind of a cool thing that you could do maybe to help. If you could help out, maybe recruit some product experts. It'd be really cool to see. I know that Andrew, who is one of our community members, he is also a product expert, very heavily involved in it. So that's, we're going to,
I can't wait. That's going to be a great show. That's going to be
try and get a bunch of them on
and learn what it means to go to a product expert summit. That's what, I kind of want to see, what's a day in the life, you know what I mean? Like day in the life of a product expert. I'd like to have that conversation.
Yeah, it's really cool. So what I'll do too for any community member that comes in the Backstage Pass, you'll have access to the Backstage Pass. Maybe I'll show a few pictures and explain some of the stuff and maybe go over a little bit of the schedule. It's really quite cool. It's really cool. That sounds like a great idea. Looking forward to that show. Yeah, no, me too. Me too. I tried to do it before we left, but couldn't quite work all of that out. So
that's right. It's much better with pictures anyway. So and speaking of pictures, there's another way that you use technology during your trip.
Oh my gosh!
You shared with all of us in the community. The pictures of your trip. And what was really cool is that one of our community members and good friend, Chris Gould, also went on the trip and shared her pictures in that same album. So
fantastic.
It was totally fun. I can't wait to share that with the audience and let them see what it was like to experience from a distance the product expert summit a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's all that non-disclosure stuff you won't share with us, but whatever.
There is a lot of NDA that we can't say and all that kind of stuff. And they made sure that we did not take pictures.
Of course they did.
During those parts. So I mean that was a big deal too. So
let's go back out to the audience for just a minute. I want to say hi to Bob who's joined us in Bellevue.
Bob, how are you, sir?
65 after being 91 yesterday.
Wow. What a difference that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Wow. When I was saying we're glad on behalf of the community members, we're glad to have you back. Jolyn joined in with an amen and a hashtag Heather is always right. And Donna said she needs to learn about
there, didn't you?
Of course. Donna said she needs to learn about Uber Lyft for the trip in the fall. So maybe you'll be able to help her out with that in the
maybe we should do that. Maybe we should have a
daily
tips.
tip on that.
Yeah, daily tip on that, or even walk through and that kind of stuff. It's really quite cool.
Richard says his daughter always rents a car that's at the airport and returns it when she's coming home. There you go.
Yep. That's pretty good too.
All right.
I can tell you right now, that's a town I would not want to drive in. I'll be honest with you.
New York?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, well,
it's a passenger most of the time. It was pretty nice being the passenger.
So when I went to New York, I wanted a T-shirt that's probably totally invalid now, but that said I survived a cab ride in New York City, because I'm not kidding you, it was an intense experience. So yeah. Anyway.
Hey, thanks
Anyway,
for the
yeah,
thumbs up. I
so
see a thumbs up out there
that's
too.
right. Heather isn't ever right, but she is never wrong. Thank you so much, Richard. And John
You think?
says, yeah, right. John said, hit the thumbs up icon, everybody. Thank you so much for your support. And we really appreciate you members. Those of you who have joined the YouTube channel, hit that blue button down below and join the YouTube channel. We really appreciate you. Those who joined at the community level get all kinds of perks, including my favorite, which is joining us in the Backstage Pass right after this show, where we talk even more detail, and it's never recorded. So if you miss out, you miss out on some pretty fun stuff.
No,
But
right.
yeah, it's a load of fun. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and hit the button and tell everybody we're getting ready to go into the Backstage Pass, because that's what we're doing next.
Awesome. Fantastic. And today's topic, using technology when you travel. Again, I would love to hear some of the stuff. Any of you that travel quite often, I would love to hear some of those. Please put them in the comments. That'd be awesome. Just follow up with that. And give us if there's something that you use that I didn't mention for whatever reason, that I would love to know about that, because maybe I can learn some more about it too. And thank you, Donna, for your comments, because anybody that's curious about these kind of things, this is a place to do that in the community. We will have like you said, oh, look there.
Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Richard,
thank you, Richard.
Are amazing.
Look at there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How about that?
That's a really cool, super chat animation you got going on there. That's pretty awesome. And then Mark said, love the daily tips too. So Mark's favorite, Mark, everybody's got different, different parts that they love about the community, and Mark's is the daily tips. And
totally agree.
I don't
Thank you, Richard.
That was
pretty awesome of you. That was pretty awesome of you. Thank you, Richard. Yeah, no, I like all of it. It's so much fun. And the collaboration we have in the community is just fantastic. We just kind of get into all that. All right, enough. Let's get on to the Backstage Pass with some of those folks that we're talking about. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for showing and watching and rewatching, etc. Please check out the show. Keep an eye on that one that you're just going to leave that up there, aren't you?
What? Sorry.
No, you're fine. You can leave it up there. I don't care. That's fine. Please join the community. We would love to have you join the community and be a part.
Yes, we would.
Yeah, and you can learn some stuff and give us some ideas of stuff that maybe you want to learn about. That's what we're all about. We tinker with tech. Heather, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you and helping me out with stuff and keep me on path here, because I came in town and ready to rock and roll, and I was just like, okay, last minute and stuff and everything. But I appreciate you. Thank you.
I'm glad you're back, bud. It's going to be great. Yeah. So can't wait to see you next week.
All right, everybody. See you, folks. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye, all.